Y'all might know her as the original Dina Jones in the hit Broadway show Dreamgirls. You might know her as Rita Louise Watson's mama in Sister Act 2. You might know her as Moesha's stepmama on the hit sitcom Moesha. And you might know her as Janine Teague's fake mama on Abbott Elementary. Please welcome to the stage my mama, Miss Sheryl Lee Ralph.
Every man has his own special dream, and your dream is just about to come true. Life's not as bad as it may seem if you open your eyes to what's in front of you. We are dream girls, boys.
Come on, do the dance, mommy.
We are dream girls.
Welcome.
Well, thank you. We are the culture.
Culture Con, meet mommy, meet Culture Con.
Yes.
So we are here at the 2025 Culture Con, and we are a community of creatives, activists, movers, shakers that are trying to build our own community. My first question to you is, where did you find your community back when you were building your career as an actress? You know, nowadays you could find community on the internet, and it's easier to identify, all right, where do I belong, or where do I find myself in community?
For me, it was always about the community. So there was community in school. There was community in church. There was definitely community, culture, all of that in family. So that was my grounding foundation, is the communities that I came from. As an actress, I think, as a human being, I've always been a loner. You know, it's not like I'm not everybody's friend. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm very much an outlier. And
Really?
yeah, definitely. But see, you love me. So you and your sister, you all are my community, my family, my spirithood, all of that. But it's not like, you know, it's interesting now that you're making me think about it. See, Dreamgirls happened when I was very young. So I was young and working, so I really didn't have a lot of time for all the things that maybe a lot of my peers were doing at the time, because I was working steadily for 3 years. So there was no time for hanging out. There was no time for running around. There was no time for experimenting with a lot of things that people were experimenting at the time, because when you're on stage, you have got to be on your game. There is no showing up late, because the show will go on without you. There is no forgetting your lines, because everybody is depending upon you to come up correct, to deliver to them so that they can show up to the best of their ability as well. So it was really for me to learn how to be very responsible, not just to myself, but to everybody else that I worked with. And I hope I answered your question.
You did.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up something that happened recently. You did an interview with our good friend Lena Waithe for Legacy Talks for her podcast, and she also interviewed Robert Townsend.
Yes.
Robert Townsend came into the Walk Good Yard at our studio, and he saw the mural of Grampy, your father.
Yes.
And he brought up how Grampy would come to your apartment and you guys would put together showcases.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
I realized very early in my career how to have a good relationship with public relations. For me, it was about my relationship with the camera, my ability to communicate to an audience, my ability to feel them and deliver the message that I was trying to get them to understand. And that takes a lot of practice. You know, how to hold the mic, how to develop your thoughts, how to get in front of the camera and not be so nervous that you forget what it is you're trying to do, but that you remember and that you get it out there. Oh my God, I look at some of those old tapes and I used to have this voice and I would talk like that and then I'd move my head like this and I was like, oh my God, girl, grow up. But it was all about growing up and going through all of those phases. You know, a lot of people look at you and figure out, well, they've always been like that. No, I was very young at one time, as opposed to being older now and a better version, or I should say a different version of myself.
And this is a great segue into what I want to talk about with you is how you have been able to transcend entertainment, film, TV, from the stage, from in front of the screen, behind the screen, for decades. Nobody who will touch this Culture Con stage today has done what you have done for years. For years. And you have made your mark time and time again. And I know a lot of times we talk about your resilience and having to start from the bottom and then come to the top. And
started from the bottom, now we're here.
But how all the roles that you played decades prior has brought you to this moment that you are in right now. Talk to our community about what it takes to have to begin again and the fight that it takes for you to continue.
I think it's because I knew my purpose. Like seeing all of you here, you're my purpose. You're important to me. Your success is important to me. When I started out, you all, a lot of you weren't born. You certainly were just a dream in my mind, but you were still important. I wanted to be able to be that person, that artist, that when you saw me, you knew that my struggle, my fight was for you, because I wanted you to have this. You know, I wanted you to have what I didn't have. I wanted you all to be able to come together, sit from all the different places you come from, and talk with each other. Not compete with each other, but work together with each other. I wanted to be my best self so that you could see an example of what it is like to have not had this, but still have the vision to know that this was possible. And you must survive.
Come on.
And I don't want you just to survive. I need you to thrive. You must be strong, as resilient as I have been. You are going to have to be stronger. Do you not see the forces that are coming against you and your success? You don't have time for the BS. You don't have time to be sitting around on weekends acting like you don't have an assignment. There is an assignment on you, and you must find it, live in it, develop it, because there are a lot of people who are organizing to make sure that you do not make it. And it is up to you to know it will be me in my freedom, me in my purpose, me seeing a solid future for my children to come.
Don't
Yeah.
get mommy started. Now, Mom, I want to talk a little bit about Dreamgirls and how that inspired you to start your own nonprofit.
You know, it's interesting. I call Dreamgirls my very sweet nightmare. Woo! That was such a learning ground for me. You know, I think back to that time, and here we were, these black girls, the toast of Broadway, baby. Everybody loved us. But the moment we stepped outside that stage door, honey, we could not get a cab. Because the cabs were not stopping for black folks going uptown. And I was always so sad that you could be on the stage and so loved. Then you step off that stage, and what? Nothing. Oh, it was rough. But then I think about that, then I think about at that time, you know, there was this disease that had no name. And men and black people, because for me it was never just black men, it was black men and women, folks just started dropping dead. And that was AIDS. And I saw, you know, maybe I couldn't catch a cab, but folks that were diagnosed with that disease, they couldn't catch a break.
Right.
And society literally turned their backs on them. And it was horrible to see good people, kind people come out very much like we're seeing today and say the most hateful, heinous things about other people. And in my little church girl mind, I was like, no matter what you think about them, no matter who you think they are, they're human beings. And they needed help. And then me not knowing any better, really believing what I had learned in church, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Don't do something to them first before they do to you. I used my voice to speak up about that. And then trying to do the right thing, people told me I was stupid. They told me nobody was gonna like me. They said, what's wrong with me? Why do I care about those people? And it was such a learning experience for me as an artist and a human being. And I think that's how I found artistic activism. So I founded my foundation, Diva, the Diva Foundation, and we do much more than help broke down divas with their wig, weave, weapon, wardrobe problems. We were doing very similar to you all, health, wellness, and really sounding the alarm for black people. Because at that time, for me, I saw what was the conversions. I saw it was sex and drugs, right? And what was happening at the same time there in the 80s? Crack. And I said, this is where black people were falling into that hole of the disease because of crack and intravenous drug use. You know, when folks started sharing needles and such, and I was like, you all, we have to just talk about this. And then when I saw adults saying things like, we're just gonna have to let that generation go. And in my mind, I was like, who the hell says we just have to let that group of young people go? I couldn't understand that. I was like, if they're here now, trust me, there'll be something of them tomorrow. Then people told me I was stupid, and why do I keep thinking like that? Then I was in shock. I said, did they just say to me, why do I keep thinking like that? Then what do we have to deal with next? Crack babies. Because there's always a next. So you can't just think about you in the now. It's what about you in the now and the then. And you can't just think about you got to think about others. That whole idea, it's not just for you to make it. You got to make it so you can bring others along to make it. And sometimes people are sick today, but maybe if you help them, they'll be well tomorrow. I know a whole lot of people in Hollywood. Honey, they were real sick. They rich today. They got help. And somebody carried them forward. So none of us should be discarding any of us. We all need each other.
Clap it up for that. Yeah, and it's no secret that I have been inspired by you caring for people that made me start Walk Good LA and providing equitable resources for health and wellness for Black and brown communities. So when I see what you've been able to do in using your platform and using your voice, not only for sheer entertainment, you use it to uplift people through the mic, through the voice, and through a piano. Share what you are doing with the Divas Simply Singing November 1st.
Well, what I realized was that music is a universal language. We all have the music that we love, you know. I love Afro beats. I love Burna Boy. I do. I love Burna Boy.
Our new On ambassador, yes. Our new On ambassador.
Oh,
the shoe.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, I love that. You know, I love reggae. I like dancehall. What is the new girl, Shakina?
Who?
What's her name?
Shensia.
Oh my God, I'm really Barbara Howard. Oh my God. Okay, did you hear that new song that Mariah Carey did with her, and who's the other girl?
Kaylani.
I love it.
Right? Yeah.
I'ma keep it short.
I don't know.
I'ma keep it sweet. I'ma keep it. I love that song.
Get back on track, Mom. What's happening November 1st?
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What'd you ask me?
November 1st, what's happening? Divas
There you
Simply
go.
Singing.
November 1st, I created this concert where I brought the Divas Simply Singing, the light, the mic, and the diva simply singing. And it started 35 years ago, which is amazing since I'm only 35 myself. Who's laughing so hard? And I said if we could just come together to raise our voices in sound and commitment to fight HIV and AIDS, and now we've opened our umbrella to fight all life-threatening diseases, including racism and poverty. So this year, it's taking place as we celebrate 35 years in Los Angeles. And you can follow the Diva Foundation, FDN, on social media platforms. You can follow me too. Thank you.
What's also very interesting is not only are you uplifting communities through the Diva Foundation, but also through your TV show, Avid Elementary. Yeah.
Such a good show.
You guys have collaborated with Quinta. You guys have collaborated with the Donors Choose, raising $1 million for educators and teachers, underserved communities. Talk to me about the importance of, like now, 40 years in, on your hit television show, you are uplifting communities by marketing a TV show.
You know, for me, you know, my dad, your grandfather, was a lifelong learner and an educator. Auntie Carolyn, an educator. You know, one of the greatest things I've ever been given was a great education. I graduated from Rutgers University. Thank you. Yes, New Jersey, on the banks of the old Raritan. And everybody else in my family graduated from Howard. Go Bisons! But it was the fact that there was a hunger for knowledge, that education was set on a platform. And don't let anybody fool you. Education is the great equalizer. There are a lot of people out there. Okay, have you ever heard that you've got 5 seconds to make a great impact on people? In 5 seconds, they will try and figure out who they think you are by the way you look, by your name, and by the way you speak. So for me, I always had one leg over here and one leg over here, being able to straddle all those worlds so that when I got in front of other people, I could speak their language. I knew what they were talking about. I had an understanding. Anytime you feel like the test is not important, you have failed. The test is important. You got to have a test in your testimony. You got to take the test. You've got to pass the test. Don't think that you're going to just get there because you're cute. Don't think you're going to get there just because you're charming. It doesn't work like that. And I'm not just talking about show business. I'm talking about life. Life is not easy. Trust me, it is much easier to die than it is to live. You've got to be strong to live. You got to be strong to make it. You got to want to make it. Some of you in this room right here, right now, you're not going to make it. You're not going to do the work. You won't be strong enough. You won't be hungry enough. You won't show up on time. And if you're supposed to be there at 1 o'clock and you get there at 1:15, goddamn.
You know when you talk like this, you give me PTSD, mommy. you know, like, Etienne, get downstairs. You're supposed to be on time.
Life is for the strong. And don't be so full of yourself. I see so many nasty attitudes walking around. I want to say, you stink already. And you don't know you stink. Learn how to handle your business and yourself for real. You think I just got here because I just showed up? I worked at it. I continue to work at it. I am my own business, and I better run it well. You see, I'm so sorry, children. I was hard on him, and I'm hard on you, too.
Well, I mean, I do want to ask you this.
Yes.
It's something that I've thought about for quite some time. Like, you've always played the mother figure.
Yes. I love it.
And I say that because you've been such an amazing mom in real life. When you look on your career, how do you feel knowing that you've made such a positive impact on so many of our lives on screen to today?
I just want you to know the way I started this, you all are important to me. I want you to do well. I play that mother figure because I want you to know there's nothing wrong with making your mistakes in life. Mistakes are how some people learn. Sometimes they're hard lessons, but go on, make your mistakes and learn from them. And I wanted every time that you saw me on screen that I had chosen a role for you to be able to look at and maybe learn something. Because I am here for you, just the way you are. Understanding God does not make mistakes. You're perfect. You're wonderful. You piss me off sometimes, but it's all right. I had my day. They were so mad at these girls with their naked dresses and all. I'm like, yeah, well, we had booty shorts. Everybody show your ass. Give them their chance with understanding, knowing all you have to do is grow up, and I will be there to love you and guide you to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Give it up, y'all, for my mommy, Sheryl Lee Ralph. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Yes, for my mother, the one, the only, Sheryl Lee Ralph.